pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jackie. So time war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my access. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is
No remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yohanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Shalom, Lord Christ Israel. It's also good time with the I.S.U.P.K. And of course, we're at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the command of GEN.YAHANNA. And we're going to pick up where we left off last week. Last week we were doing a reintroduction to this LaShawan Qadash. We touched on a little bit of the prepositions, the prefixes and suffixes. So we're going to get a little bit more into that. We're going to finish up the Lord's Prayer. In that, we're going to see if we can identify any prefixes and suffixes based off of what we learned. But of course, as we usually start, we're going to get the alphabet on the board. Do I feel like writing that Syrian? I might as well practice that Syrian today. It's a lot in here, girl. It's a lot, my Lord. Alright, so I'm going to start from the top. Of course, in the Western culture, over here, they read from left to right. In our culture, or the Eastern culture, it's going to be from right to left. And that's when we actually write out the characters. That's different from when you write out the words that, or the letters that pronunciate the characters. With the Hebrew characters itself, goes in this direction. You'll understand it a little bit more why that makes sense when, or why that makes a difference when we start translating and putting words on the board. And of course, if you choose to, if it helps you remember it better, when you go through writing them on the board, you can definitely say them out loud. It helps with that rote memory aspect of it. You want to be just as fluent in this as you know your ABCs. And then sometimes you'll find if you got a good grasp on the alphabet itself, when you're reading and start paying attention to words more, it's easier to grasp. And like I always say when it comes to the Syrian, pick a font, pick a script, because you'll pull out your phone and you'll go to an interlinear, and then you'll pull out a scroll, and the font might be a little bit different. And I'll give you an example. Sometimes it's easy to pick up on certain characters. Other times it's not, depending on the font. But that's just a person getting used to, or more. Where's my atlas? More comfortable with looking at the various fonts and using the actual language more. So as I look at the interlinear, I don't know how clear you'll be able to see this on the phone. You'll see the type of font that they have there. A lot of that you could easily make out, but you'll see certain characters like that right there. And when we get it on the board, you'll see how similar those characters look. And then if you pull out another script, see, just turn around. If I turn the camera on, won't turn the camera around. Well, I hold this up. And then this is another font. You know, so it's really getting used to actually seeing the characters. Like that character, the Ka, which is the hard Ka, and that Ra all look the same to me. It might be a difference on how you curve, how you lift your pen and put the pen back down, whether you do it in one motion or two motions. So now that you got the Hebrew characters on the board, go ahead and put the pronunciations on the board. I usually do them separate now, just so when I go back through, it's like a re-quiz. And sometimes if you start from another end just to test your memory, we'll start from this end. So we have the Tha, the Sha, the Ra, the Kwa, the Taza, you got the Pa, you got your I, your Sa, your Na, your Ma, La, Ka. I want to start drawing my Ya a little bit more slanted. Ya, Ta. Oh, see, I have to double check it, girl. Yeah. Ha. See, I pronounced it better this time this week. Za, Wa, Ha, Da, Ga, Ba, Ah. So that was backwards. And then let's get it into Assyrian. Excuse my handwriting on the Assyrian. I'm still practicing. I'm still getting better. So I'm gonna try to make them big enough so we can easily see. You know what? Next time we're just gonna use. The practice here is me writing it out. So until I can write it as good as I would like to write it, we're gonna do it this way. I don't think I did that bad. There's a couple characters that I would like to see a little better, but at the speed I was going, I don't feel like that's that bad. Like the qua could be better, the tazah, the I, the la. But as you see, the da, the ra, and so you don't know, like sometimes you'll see the ka written like this. So you'll see that the da, the ka, the ra are all similar looking characters. Even the y is kind of similar to it. It just doesn't have a top bracket as long. So that's why I was saying, just get familiar with the font that you'll be reading and writing and using, so you'll be better identified, or it'll be easier if you already identify and read and write and pronounce the words. So you got the characters on the board, so we can get the prepositions on the board and then finish up on the Lord's Prayer. Actually, while we got the room, why don't we finish up on the Lord's Prayer while we got the room up? So, we're going to read the Lord's Prayer and then pick up where we left off at. Of course, the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew is Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim Qadash Hayah Shimka Yahawah Malakutaka Taba'ah Ratazayaka Hayah Asha Barakazah Kowa Hayah Bashemayim Nathanalawa Salakia Nathananawa Lacham Kal Yawam Wasalaknawa Kabawathinawa Kasalaknawa Kabawathinawa Wala'ah Baba'ayanawa Banasanawa Abo Hawashayanawa Mayan Ra Kaya Laka Hamalakwa Wala'ala Wahatha Parath La'awalumium Aman. So that's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. I believe where we left off was, mistaken, we'll just go back a little further just in case. We'll start at So we'll start at thy will be done. Thy will be done. And just as a tool, so everybody would know like what sometimes you can do in your while you're learning Hebrew. It's a good old Google. And different Bible apps that actually help you translate. But if we go to Matthew 6 and 9, where you'll find the Hebrew prayers, the Lord's Prayer. Matthew 6. And 9. I want to point out something to you, so we don't make a common mistake that some people do. So when you pull up the interlinear now, and you click on the verse, 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 and you click on the you don't see the same script text. It looks different. Remember, the New Testament is wrote in the Greek. So don't think that you're going to pull up an app like the normal Bible app, like a Blue Letter Bible or Bible Hub, and just click into any linear and then go find the New Testament in the Hebrew. Just a little quick lesson, a little tip. Alright, so let's get back to it. You know, I might be able to put the whole thing on the board if I write it neat enough. So, Ratazah actually, let's stop. I almost want to start over. These are some good prepositions in here. By Ratazah, that will be good. So Ratazah Alright, so as you see in the first line, I have the Hebrew characters going, the English characters or pronunciations of the words going from left to right. Ratazayaka, Haya, Asha, by Ratazah, Kowai. But as I write the Hebrew characters, notice if I wrote it the way it is now, everything will be backwards. Like I would write, for an example, by Ratazah, if I would write it in the same way, it would go it'll look like that. But because we read from right to left, you got to remember, you have your ba. Well, we'll start with the Ratazayaka. So you have your Ra, you have your Tazah, and you have your Ka. Your Haya, Aisha. Alright, so now you're barak. So as you see, Kawah, Barakazah, Aisha, Haya, Rakazayaka. So we wrote in this way from right to left, but as you're reading, of course, you know it's the other way. So just don't get mixed up on that. So I usually try to write it out a certain way so a person wouldn't be confused, so you know which way it's going. All right, we can go to the next one. Haya. Bashamayim. Ahthan. La. Nawa. LaShawan. Let me get that right. So we got our next line. Your Haya is. So the prayer is that his will be done as it is by Shemayim in Shemayim heaven. And even though we don't have it on the board yet, you can clearly see your ba is one of your prepositions. So ba in front of a word, and a preposition, just to recap it, a preposition sits before a noun, and it's to show a noun's relation to a word in a sentence. So a preposition sits before a noun to show a noun's relation to a word in a sentence. So noun, person, place, or thing, noun being heaven, Shemayim, you see ba sits before it to show the relation. Where is this heaven at? Or where do you want the will to be done? In. That's the relation. In heaven. See how that works? Just to highlight that. And I put the spaces in between just so we can clearly see like some of the separations, so that doesn't look too good. Clear that up a little bit. That's a lot. So the next word is Nathan Lanawa. Nathan means give. And what are we saying? Love. Love is going to be one of our prefixes and suffixes, and we'll get to those. And Nawa also is one. This is a good one, which means us. So give to us. Give to us and what does LaShawan mean? And remember, these words and how they're written out in sentences, what you want to do at times is also use these as your vocabulary words. Words that you see like coming up like bread, that's a word that we can probably use on a daily basis. You know, Israel will use it interchangeably with, you know, whether we're talking about money or actual food. So, Ka means bread. Put that in your vocabulary section of your notes. So now let's get in the Hebrew. You got Hayah. And you see Hayah is and be kind of means the same or is the same. Bashamayim, you have your ba, your sha, your ma, and your yum. So your ya, your ya and your ma is connected at the end to make the yum. Give to us, give, nathan. So you have your na, your tha, your tha, your na. And for any new people to the class, this hook down here, is a connector. I'm connecting two pronunciations of two letters. So the tha and the na are connected. If you see this character, that means it's pronounced separate. So ba, sha, ma, yum. So na, thun, and it wouldn't be na, thun, na. It'd be na, thun, based off these indicators. But as you read, you'll pick up some text. And I'll give you an example. Sometimes you'll find a script like this that you'll read from, and it doesn't have those indicators at the bottom. So as you get more familiar with the language, the text, the words that you're using, you'll know kind of instinctively how to accurately pronounce it. And until then, it's just a little research, a little due diligence. All right, you have your la, la, and then nawa, which is na, and then your wa, all separate. Nathan, la nawa, which is give to us. And what are we asking him to give? Bread. Laham. And as you see, being a good example, so we know that ma by itself is M-A. Cha by itself is C-H-A-A. When you put them together, so if it's lacham, let me write that clear so the example will be. Get the example. So you have la, ka, ma, essentially, which is this character, la, ka, ma. And it's only flipped. I'm only writing this way just for explaining this part about connecting the letters. Because the last two characters are connected in pronunciation, lacham, you drop this A, or essentially you can look at, oh, this A flips to this side, but either or is dropped or it merges, and now you have lacham. So in any other word, it will be kind of like the same with like nathan. Fun. LaShawan, so like LaShawan, but instead of the last na, that na, the A is dropped or moved back in or merged in with the thigh, and then you have Nathan. That's why it's not lakama, it's lakama. That's how you understand the connectors. And if you don't get it, please check the chat. All right, no questions. Yeah, if you have any questions, you want me to re-explain that one part, just let me know, go ahead. All right, let's keep going. I'll give you a second to get that down. Give you a second to get that down. Let me get it off the board. Like after we retouch this preposition, after we finish the Hebrew prayers, just to understand the prepositions again. Like just go back and see and point out how many prepositions that you can find in the Hebrew prayers. And after you know or memorize the prepositions, it'll kind of make understanding what you're reading a lot easier. Just try it out. If you got the time, when you got the time. I just got a notification that it might be Facebook. Not sure if it's my end, but somebody saying the feed is kind of going in and out. Keep me abreast on that. So the last said was give us bread. We got cow. Yawan. Why? So why? La. Now what? So cow meaning, I'm gonna put the next word in blue. I think blue is a sharp character. So cow meaning all. Yawam is day. So what we were asking, what we were saying from the last line to this one was, give to us bread all day, meaning the same thing as daily bread. give us daily bread. Same understanding. And then you have wasalak, and you hear it say salakia. The root word is salak, and that is to forgive or forgive. Why? That will be your prepositions. You know what? I feel like I should put those on the board. Instead of waiting for later. Is your and. And then Noah, of course, is us. All right, in the Hebrew, you got your cow, which would be a ka, and your la connected, your wa, which is a ya, your wa, and your ma, your wa, and your ma is connected. Wa salak. You got your wa, you got your sa, la, la, now, wa, oh, wa. So y'all, wa, sa, lock, well, now, okay, yeah. That's right. I'm gonna double check and give you right on that. All right, the next line is Kabawath Nawa. Kabawath Nawa. What are we asking the Most High to forgive? We're asking the Most High to forgive something. Kabawath Nawa. We're not getting another black market story. Ka. Wa. Salakia. Kawawath Nawa. Salakia. Kawawath Nawa. Kaslak Nawa. What are we saying? What are we asking the Most High to forgive? Our, which is Noah, debts, which is Kawab. The Waf gives it the plural. So it's not necessarily a word, but it gives, I guess, a deeper understanding to the word. It makes it, it's the plurality to it. So Waf, if I were to just put PL as plural, our, so forgive, debts our, but it's our debts. Ka is as, Salat, we forgive, in the Hebrew, that'd be Ka. Wab. Wab. Nah. Well. And then you have your Ka. So. Wab. Give me a second to get that down. Y'all about to be very tough up there. Yeah, get that down real quick. Right there, real quick. Alright, y'all got that down. And of course, if you don't have it down, you can always go back, rewind, pause it, screenshot it. That way you'll take your time writing the notes down. All right, let's get on to the next one. So as y'all know, every other week, it's gonna be my long weeks. As we forgive. Alright, so actually this time what I'm gonna do is go ahead. We're gonna throw these prepositions on the board one time so we can see them. Oh, Salaki Israel, Salak. So you have your I, Ba, Da, Ha, Wa, Ya, Ka, and La, which means if it sits before a word saying I or I am, Ba means in. I believe sometimes it might be in or on, interchangeable. Yep, it's gonna be in or on. depending on context. Yada means do, possibly is that action. Ha is the. Why means and. Ha is he. As. Ka is as. Like. And la is two or four. You know what? Wow. 1 second. Just want to double check something real quick. Bear with me, Israel, 1 second. Want to double check something. Alright, so like you. We have a few more. I thought I was short. We got ma, sha, and tha. Like. So ma is of or from. The sha is like a whom or which, and it kind of pertains or pertaining to. It'll give you that understanding. And tha is thou or thee, the understanding of you. All right, so you got your prepositions or your prefixes. I think I'm gonna put the suffixes on the other side of the board just so we can have them up there. That's something that we'll probably go over a class from now. Not the next class, but the class after next. So you guys can see it, put it on this side of the board, right here. Ya, ka, wa, ha. No, wa, kam, kan, ma, and breaking these down, your Yah will be my, Ka is you or your Wah is he, his, or it, Ha is her, Nawah, which we have been seeing a lot, is our, Khan, Kam, Salaka is your, but it's the masculine plural of your. Khan is the same thing, but it's the feminine plural. So if you see MPL as masculine plural, FPL feminine plural, I'll put 2 periods. And then your Ma, and your Na is the there. Yeesh. One is, of course, masculine, is the Ma, and the feminine is the Na. Slack is that handwriting penmanship at the end. It's kind of jumbled in the corner. If you can't see it, let me know. All right, moving on. So we were asking the Most High to forgive us as we, and to forgive us of our debts, our Nawah, our debts, as we forgive Nawah. Yeah. Nawah. Why? La'a. Tawa ayin awa. By the son of one, I can fit that one. Alright, excuse the color change. My black pens was running out. Babe, if you watching this class, remind me to buy some more color pens, markers, erasable. But you should be watching this class. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, Qadash. What does that mean? Our debts. Why, and you clearly see that why in your prefixes. La'ah is do not. Faba'ayanawa, lead. Faba'yah gives you the understanding to lead or to guide us. So we're asking him not to lead us. Ba Nasanawam, you look in your prefixes over here, right here. Ba, in or on. Do not lead us in temptation. Oh, like it. That wasn't supposed to be there. My young. This is our ball. Which is but. So don't lead us into temptation, but give you a second. Keep that on the board. But deliver us. Oh, you too wild, my Lord. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us. So a ball, Yahawah. Let's get that on the board. We're gonna put those in green. Shy, not sure. Nah. Well. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. And Waka. So what are we saying? We're saying Yahawah is to deliver, of course, no wise us. Deliver us. Mayan from Ra, meaning evil, Ra, Kaya. Laka is thine or to you. To you, and just because of how this sits, I want to put the next one on the board under. It might be a little cramped, but I don't want to start on a clear pour in the middle of like a phrase. But Yahawah, you want to put that in the Hebrew. You have your ha. See, this one almost threw me for a loop, but to answer my question, you do drop the last letter, so that might be the official rule, and I'll consult the man above me. You do drop the last letter completely and add the connecting letter. So the word that I'm put up, the word that's up there is Yahawah, but Shah is this, I is this, so to get Shah, you would have to have those connected. They completely dropped the A and added the I, which gives me the understanding is that you move like on the Ka, C-H-A, LaShawan, they took off the Ma and added, well, I'll just put those on the board at the end. I don't feel like trying to speak it out, and it might confuse you. But anyway, Mayan, you got your my, you got your ya and your na, which your ya and the na is connected, your ra, Ra'ai, so like your Rai, Kaya, Laka, and what were we asking? Thine, or to your, to thine or to your is Ha Malak Wa. You got your Hamalakwath, which is the, and you see your Ha, where is that? Right here. Simply means the, one of your prefixes, one of your prepositions. Your Malak means kingdom, or Malakwath means kingdom. Malak means king. One of the things I always like to put on the board, and I'm going to end it in a second. We can pick it up next week. I have to head out to the slave. But Malak is king. Wath gives it the understanding of kingdom. But you have a word like Malak, Malakwath, and Malak with Ka.
And that ka being your kingdom a lot. So prepositions, your suffixes, and your prepositions and your prefixes are very important. I'll give you a second to get that on the board. And then before we close, I'll just throw the definition of prefix and maybe give you one example. And it's something that I learned today that it might take me a few classes, few weeks before I even attempt to bring it out. Like sometimes, I'll give you an example. I'll end the class with this example. Aparium. If you look at your officer's test, you should know that word. Aparium. And what's so heavy about this language, each character, each letter means something. And to give you a quick example, let's put a few on the board, or just one on the board real quick, and then we'll go a little bit more in depth next week. So like if you was to say Alahayim, we would know that word to mean angels. I can write it on the board real quick. No, I started with Aparium, so let's do Aparium. Ahtham. So we actually broke this down by just based off the characters. Let me see if I can put that on the board real quick. If I got enough black left, I might have to use fruity purple. When you're breaking it down, you have your I, which is I. And this is Ephraim, FYI, if anybody didn't catch it. Par is fruit, and then Yum is the plural saying being fruitful. So it says I am fruitful. Another quick one that I throw on the board is Alahayim. Alahayim. Which we understand to mean angels. But the root being in Allah is power. So if we were to write that out, and in Hebrew, we would say Allah. So that I being that prefix, I, la actually means to teach or head, meaning or shepherd, you lead. And then Yahah is to reveal. So there's actual times so that you'll see that like the actual like the duty of an angel is a messenger. They're a messenger. So they actually teach and they reveal. And that's under, of course, that power. But the aparium, just like in aparium, like the actual meaning of their name is in the letters of their name. The I, par, meaning fruit, yum, aparium. It's not like certain words that might, like we know that sham is name, but putting it with a different set of letters, it might mean a completely different word. But coincidentally, there's certain words that when you break it down per letter, each letter or each character means something. And if you got any questions on that, you know what? I'll actually go in depth on that and do a class just on that. How often does that happen? Is it something irregular or regular? I'll have to ask that in a class. But the watch for your time, Israel. We're gonna go ahead and end it. I know it's a little early due to the slave, but time to hit that move. Of course, if you got any questions, go ahead and throw it in that chat. If I don't get to it this week, or I'm not gonna get to it this week, definitely come back next week, put it in the chat. It'll give me some time to definitely make sure I got the answer for you. And of course, practice makes perfect. Write it out, sign it out, pronunciate it out. The more you use it, the more comfortable you'll be when you're saying it, when you're reading the Hebrew prayers. It's one of the things that we do every week. We read the Hebrew prayers, and that's one of the things that we should be able to do is read it and write it as well. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. I'm in Israel Hamajim Shabbat, Hamajim, Barak, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, barak, ahtham.